Hello everyone, my name is Tamar Mnatobishvili and I'm here on behalf of the Interdisciplinary and the Interfaculty Research Group on Central and Eastern Europe at Maastricht University, and we're delighted to have with us Wicke van der Broek, a PhD candidate at Maastricht University who is researching EU democracy promotion in Belarus. This interview is part of our series designed to map out research expertise on Central and Eastern Europe at and to stimulate the interdisciplinary conversation on the region. So welcome and thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
So to start, could you introduce yourself and provide an overview of your research focus on democracy promotion in Belarus?
So thank you very much for having me. My name is Wicke, I'm from the Netherlands. I did my bachelor here in Maastricht, European Studies. It's about 8 years ago that I graduated. Afterwards, I lived 6 years in Central Europe, 3 years in Poland, a year and a half in Czechia, and a bit of time also in Hungary and in Slovakia. This was for studies, for work, and actually here I had my first encounter with Belarus and with Belarusians. Because in 2020, as the people watching this interview might know, there was large-scale mobilization in Belarus. After another falsified election done by Lukashenko and his regime. Lots of people from Belarus moved after these events, and especially after large-scale repressions, moved to Poland. And I was there at the time, and this was sort of my first encounter with that country and with the people, and also with their struggle for freedom, for democracy. I think this is quite exemplary of the region, that the region, its history, its political landscape is kind of characterized by that, by this struggle, yeah? And this is also very appealing. Also, as a researcher, this is very interesting to look into. So, when there was a PhD position free here in Maastricht, I decided to come back. And indeed, it's about EU democracy promotion. So, how does the EU try to promote, to advance democracy, democratic values, but also simply support people who work for this, to work with them, to also be kind of an enabler, of democratic reform. And this is, for me, it's specifically EU and Belarus.
Oh, it's fascinating to hear about your research focus on democracy promotion in Belarus. And moving to our next question, how does your research on democracy promotion in Belarus and Poland contribute to our understanding of contemporary political and societal transformations in Central and Eastern Europe?
My research focus is twofold. One is on EU democracy promotion. This really goes into what the EU does and how it enables mobilization of people, especially in windows of opportunity when political situations in countries open up. So Belarus in 2020 was one of those situations where there was an opening in the kind of public sphere. People mobilized, and I look at how the EU interacted with that mobilization. The second part is more about narratives, about concepts. It's how the EU tries to support the narrative for democracy, also in opposition to the narrative of the regime in Minsk. So that's the EU part. The Polish part is more about the history, or the, let's say, historical foundations why Poland promotes democracy, and how this can present something of a wider European reason why to promote democracy. And this really comes from the time of transition through the 90s, experiencing communism, then moving away from that. And this can be sort of a template, maybe, for a wider European push that incorporates both West European and East European approaches towards, let's say, the new Eastern Europe, which would be Belarus for me, but it also includes Ukraine, Moldova, and Georgia. And I think there we have already moved quite far.
Thank you so much. And now let's delve into your experiences conducting research in Belarus and Poland. Maybe you could share with us what unique challenges and opportunities have you encountered while conducting research in Belarus and Poland compared to maybe other countries in the region?
Yeah, so I cannot say that much about the other countries. but I can say something about Belarus. Belarus is a unique situation, I think. Like every other country is unique, but in Belarus, you really have inside the country massive repression. There is essentially a really hardline dictatorship now on the borders with European Union. So the people that I interview, the people that I work with for my research, some of them are ex-political prisoners, some of them are refugees, some of them were refugees twice. So they moved after 2020 first to Ukraine, and then after full-scale invasion, they moved to the European Union. So this is really unique. It presents a lot of questions about ethics, about morality, but also a big opportunity for me to be sort of an amplifier of their voice and to see how to best support this. And because these people live now in large numbers in the European Union, it's an opportunity for me to go and visit them, because obviously visiting Belarus, it's not possible. Regarding the Polish case, very briefly, I think it's an opportunity. Poland is a growing country in terms of political influence, economy, and also militarily. And I really think it can provide one of the beacons for Belarus, for Ukraine, in its European path. And I really hope that my research can also contribute to this understanding of how to achieve this European path.
So thank you so much for sharing your insights with us today, and your expertise and your research on EU democracy promotion in Belarus and Poland is incredibly valuable for broader understanding the transformations in Central and Eastern Europe. And we look forward to seeing the continued impact of your work. And to our viewers today, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.